Hello and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm your host, Carla Coleman, Director of Communications for New Salem Baptist Church. My co-host, Paige Reynolds, is out today. So everyone, come on in and join the chat, share this link with your friends and families, and get your questions ready. This afternoon, we have with us Mr. Al Edmondson, a longtime resident of Columbus, Ohio, and the Near East Side. Al is the president of the historic Mount Vernon District Improvement Association, founder and CEO of Making a Difference, and owner of Cut Above the Rest Barbershop. And he's also a veteran of the United States Army. He's an entrepreneur and a community activist. He has spent his adult life building his business and committing his expertise and passion to revitalizing the Mount Vernon district of Columbus. He's also very, very instrumental in helping people, find a way to improve their health and wellness. I'm going to let you, Al, tell us a little bit about yourself before we start talking about about business health, because that's why we're here today, small business
Right.
health, and how a small business owner like yours has had such a tremendous impact on the health and wellness of the community around you. So welcome, Al.
Wel- Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me on today. I just want to first of all thank God, and I want to thank the New Salem Missionary Baptist Church for having me on. That's my church home. I have a wife named Kim and two boys, and I've been in business for about 27 years now, and I've been working in the barber business as a start. That's the base, and then I was able to branch out in other things as far as becoming the president of the business association. I've been the president of the Mount Vernon District Improvement and Business Association for 10 years now. I'm successor of Melvin Stewart, who used to be the president. And then also on the health and wellness side, because I'm a barber, I have opportunity to talk to Black men and work a lot with children in our community. And that's when I began to realize that there was a need to do education around health and wellness for our community back about 18, 19 years ago in a partnership with the American Heart Association and American Cancer Society. And so, we began to do, when you see barbershop screenings on TV, we were the pilot for those programs that they now do around the country in barbershops all around different cities and around the world now. And then, just being a person to be self-employed and it takes a lot to be in business 27 years without a lot of education. So a lot of the things I've done, I was able just to read books to learn how to do the things I wanted to do and just and make things happen, and then believing in God and trusting God that once he gives you the vision that you have to keep going.
Amen. Amen. That's absolutely, the last part is the most important part, and that faith and knowing that you take a step forward, he's going to hold you up and keep you moving.
No
Excellent.
doubt, no doubt.
So Al, let's talk a little bit first about how you got started. Just the early years of your business.
Right, right. Well, one of the things I always tell people, everything starts with a dream. And when you start dreaming, you got to start to visualize what everything's going to look like. You got to think about what, for instance, I'm gonna give the barbershop. When I first bought the barbershop with my partner, I dreamed that, yeah, I want to have 6 chairs, I want to have a beauty shop, I want to have 13 people working for me, and it's time to make some money. And then with that, you got to have confidence in your dream, and that it's for you. And then I always tell people, you gotta have that grit. You gotta have a determination to continue to learn, um, on your own about how to run businesses. And now with the internet, you can just Google so many different things on how to start a business, how to find capital, how to find the resources to start your business. Because those are some of the most important things that you have to do when you first start your business. You gotta have some money. And I just was blessed that when I served over in the Persian Gulf at the time, that I wasn't married then, I was single, and I had money, and I had a partner that had money, so we decided to partner up and buy a building, a 2-story building, and remodel it, and turn it into a barber and beauty shop. And then now, since my partner has moved on over 20 years ago, I've been able to turn the building into a multi-use mixed facility for health and wellness for just this community.
Excellent. Wow. I always have to ask the question, you're right then there in the Mount Vernon area. A lot of businesses around you have either closed or moved away. What kept you right there in the community?
Well, I'm born and raised. I'm rooted. I'm part of the fabric of the neighborhood. Going to Champion Middle School, going to East High School. Those I'm a part of the fabric of the community. And I think that even during those times when it was hard in the 90s, when crack cocaine and our neighborhoods were invested with drugs and illegal activities, I have a sense of respect for some of the people that lived in the community, and they have a respect for me. And because I grew up with them, you know what I'm saying? I just chose a different route. And
Right.
we respect one another's pretty much territory. And so I think
Mhm.
that like you said, with some of the businesses now that may be closed up because of COVID, I can just say one thing: as being president of the business association, the city did a wonderful job of making sure that businesses that are in this community and in the Linden community and in these other communities got the resources to stay open. And so by me being the president, I'm called which is called a NCR leader, neighborhood
Mhm.
revitalization corridor leader. And so I have to help these
Mhm.
people make sure they put the right paperwork together in order to get the funds to get the loans or the grants. I ain't gonna say loans because they wasn't loans, they were grants to these
Yeah.
businesses. So
Mhm.
when they open back up, that they were able to sustain and start all over again. And so I think that, that's the blessing part. And it's all about building relationships along the way.
Right. So you weren't just focused on your business; you were focused on businesses around you as well. So what did you
Yeah.
do for your business to pivot and during the pandemic?
Well, we closed down. We had to close down because we weren't
Mhm.
essential
Mhm.
like there were other businesses were. So for
Gotcha.
me, it's good. It's good to have for that period of time, those 6 months that we had to close. It's great to have great customers who have businesses, and so I was able
Mhm.
to work. Whether it's cleaning cloth toilets or if it's spraying, washing cars or whatever I had to do to make some
Mhm.
money for my household. And so, it was a great loss of income at that time. When you go from 100% to 10%, that's a big drop.
Sure.
And so I just made sure that whatever I did, I was able to provide for the household. And then
Mhm.
when we opened back up again, what I did, because I was pouting at one time when we had to close, and I was telling myself, all right, I'm praying. So I get up early, and God was like, don't think about you, think about everybody else. And so during that time, by me being kind of like one of the godfathers in the barber business, because I've been around so long, and so I began to call other barber shops, other beauty shops, other people I knew in the business, and see how they were doing. And so God gave me a vision to help them. And so I had a friend at United Way that knows how to write sponsorship. So I put together a campaign to raise money to help those businesses. So when they reopen, they have the right tools and the right things to have when they reopen their shop. So we were able to raise about $10,000 in a GoFundMe. And I didn't think about me. I thought about others and people in the
Mhm.
business, white businesses, Hispanic. I wanted to do something. I had a couple black businesses, and
Mhm.
it just was a blessing just to be able to do something like that and bless other people. And then I built new relationships. So now, we working together, we keep in touch, and just in case
Mhm.
just in case something else comes out or another pandemic come out, we'll be able to support and help one another.
Mhm. That's the important part is that relationship building along the way. Because I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
people, we knew that the barbershops and the salons and beauty salons were closed down, but you never really understand just what that owner and the people that work in the shops were really dealing with, because that was a long time.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was, it was a mental piece too for me as far as like, man, I got to figure this out because, I
Yeah.
never, I do a lot of things, but this is the
Mhm.
main bread and butter. And so, you just got to kind of figure it out and just trust in the Lord that he's going to provide a
Mhm.
way in, and he did it. And then we didn't miss a beat in the household. We didn't. And my barbers, we made sure that when they needed something, I made sure they got the information on where they can get the resources from. Whether it's a food
Mhm.
pantry, whether it's you need to keep your lights on, because by me
Mhm.
being the president of the business association, I have access to or you say equity to the right people
Yeah.
to make sure they can get
Right.
things done. And so, and then
Mhm.
people, there are a lot of resources that people don't really know because Franklin County has a booklet that comes out every year that tells you everything about what you need to know if you're homeless and all that kind of stuff. So I made it intentional for me to make sure that I get these things out to people in the community during those times to make sure that, if the lights are off, this is who you call. Churches,
Mhm.
food pantries, everything. So those are the
Mhm.
things that you have to do in your business, whatever business you decide to do, to get to know your neighborhood, get to know some people that can help you out, and then that's also be the information a source for your customers.
Mhm. Excellent. Excellent. So now that you're open, right? You're back in
Yeah,
business?
yeah, yeah. We back open. Yeah, we back open.
Okay. Right. What did you have to do to to make that happen? Because we're still in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, well, we had to prepare to open, and so in preparing to open, we had to, now you go to restaurants or wherever you go, we got dividers,
Mhm.
and then also we have to, be very sanitized. We have to be able to sanitize our instruments, making sure my shop is sanitized, and then also limit the number of people in our shops, like the governor recommended. So we would, there was grants and stuff out there, that the PPE grants, those things that you file for, and I was able to take advantage of those small loans for PPE to be able to make sure that we open safely for our customers. And currently, right now, we'll limit it only 10 people into the shop right now, even though people are getting vaccinated. We still want to be safe. You come to my shop, you're gonna get stopped at the door. If you don't have a mask, you're gonna get a mask. You're gonna get sanitizer in your hand, and and then you're gonna get a great haircut. So, those are the things that and you'll get your temperature checked. So we're making sure that our customers that come in our shop are being well taken care of. Because I recently had another guy tell me a couple of days ago, it's like, hey man, you guys do all of this. I was at another shop and they don't do all of this. I said, well, look at the
Mhm.
name. It stands for itself. A cut above the rest. We're gonna do the right
Right. Right. And that's what's important, doing the right thing. And I mean,
thing. Right.
as a customer, I'm not a barbershop customer, but I would assume that as a customer, I would want to come in and know that you're taking all the right precautions. And that makes you
Absolutely.
comfortable and makes you come back. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I can
What
tell
are
you this.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I can tell you this though, even though that we had to raise our prices a little bit, people
Mhm.
appreciate that because of the safety. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because of the
Hmm.
safety things that we have to do. They know we have to buy gloves. They know we have to get sanitizer. They know we got, I bought a machine that we disinfect the whole shop at the end of the night. And so they
Nice.
appreciate those things, making sure that they're safe so that when they come in our shop or most in our shop, especially that, we're doing the right things.
Hmm. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, that's the tough part about it. And, you know, um,
Mhm.
trying to keep trying to keep everyone safe, and and keep the doors open are two different things. And so it makes it more difficult. I know that it probably adds the hours to your day, and
Oh yeah.
your yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about the rest of the building, and the people that you have there as far as health and wellness.
And so what we do, we have two great partnerships with Chi to Phi, which is African American nursing organization that
Mhm.
comes out every first Saturday of the month to do blood pressure screenings and education for African American men or just people in general that come into the barbershop. And they come out on Saturday. And then we have another great partnership with OSU College of Nursing, and they come on Fridays. And so basically around the health and wellness piece is that we want to make sure that people in our community are taking advantage of knowing, the signs of, stroke, stroke, your blood pressure, diabetes education, all of those things that affect our community. And so, we've been able to be a big advocate for making sure that we spread health and wellness throughout the not just our shop, but I've had other shops involved, and we probably have about 8 beauty shops involved in health and wellness doing the same thing, and probably about another 10 barbershops in different areas where the risk of diabetes and health education is needed. And so that's what we kind of branch out to do that, and then also, a portion of the building is just recently that used to be a barber shop. I've been able to create it into a pop-up space for small businesses. So if someone has a small business that needs some space to just for a day or for 2 days, you can rent this space. It's probably about 850 square feet, but you can do a pop-up because now with most businesses not being able to open, it's a great opportunity for a business that needs the house something. Like for instance, I have a lady that sells candles. She comes every first of the month for 3 hours just to sell candles because she has a clientele. And food, pop up for food. We've had different things in that space, and so it's just an open space that I wanted to provide because being an entrepreneur, you got to constantly be thinking about different things on how to be very creative and utilizing your space. I just sometimes laugh at God because he always give me these crazy ideas, and I'm like, well, I guess I got to do it. And so the pop-up space came up as a vision, just to be able to help people, and it doesn't cost that much to use the space. And once they decide that if they use the space and their business grows, they move on.
Nice. So that's another way to help small businesses, continue to thrive during the pandemic as well. That's
Hmm.
very creative. Hey,
Yeah.
let's talk. I know that you're a big supporter and proponent of men's health,
Oh
and
yeah.
through your barbershop. Yeah, some of the things that you have been able to do, because sometimes I know how the guys are. They don't always want to pay attention to their health, and
Hmm.
there's got to be a way to get that information to them. And what better way than sitting in the chair at the barbershop? So talk a little bit about that pilot you mentioned earlier, about
Yeah.
having those talks in the barbershop.
Yeah, so basically, like again, it started out by just partnering up with the American Heart Association and different organizations like even the Cancer Society, American Cancer Society as well. So just recently, um, right before the pandemic, of course, everybody know Black Panther Chad Boswick died from colon cancer, and so
Yes.
I've built a relationship with the American Cancer Society because we've done awareness around prostate cancer. Because prostate cancer, it was the #1 killer for African American men for years, and also diabetes is #1. So I shift my focus to prostate cancer because I've had friends and customers pass away from prostate cancer, and so with that being said, American Cancer Society reached out to me again, and this time we focused on colon cancer. And so, a brother out of Utah, Dr. Charles Rogers, we met, and so we did focus group right before COVID to talk with different groups of men in different ages about how much do they know about colon cancer. And what we discover in these studies with these focus group is that a lot of people don't know, especially, and it's funny because you do a group, we did a focus group with people who are uneducated and a group of people who were educated, college degrees, PhDs, all that stuff. And the language was the same, but they answered the questions differently. And so what we found
Mm-hmm.
out that is that you can be diagnosed with colon cancer at the age of 36. And so what that means for
Mm,
African American men is that you need to start getting your colon cancer checked at 30. By the
mhm,
time you
mm.
catch it, 'cause they always say, well, we got to be 50. And so if you're 50 and you find out you got it, you ain't got much time
It's too
left.
late.
So,
Mhm,
through these focus groups that we did throughout the city, we did like 7 of them at different barbershops. And like I said, with different groups of people, we were able to publish a study around colon cancer in neighborhoods. And this was done in Ohio, Utah, and Minnesota. And so we were the Ohio group that did it. And we just published our book last Tuesday. So I'm a publisher now for the book,
well,
and then we're
congratulations.
up coming up here soon around
And what's the
research
name of the book
studies of
again?
colon cancer in African American men.
Okay, what's the name of the book again?
It's a African American men. I gotta go pull it up. I don't know the whole
Okay.
name of, but it's the studies is around colon cancer in African American men. It's a journal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll shoot it to you in
Very,
an email or something if people need to know. But
mhm,
we just published it last Tuesday.
excellent. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as I picked up this, people always say 50. So this
Yeah.
new 30, I mean, that's 20 years,
Yeah.
before, the what was originally. I mean, are men starting to do that, or is that information getting out there as it should?
I don't think. I mean, that's why we did the study because we. I'm telling people now, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to start creating awareness around it because you got the African American Male Walk coming up here in I
Hmm.
think August or July. So that's got to be
Yeah.
information that's got to go out and start. And the doctors, even these, most of my friends are African American doctors, so I was telling them about it. So they have to start telling their customers, or not customers, but their patients that, hey, you might
Hmm.
want to start thinking about this at an earlier age before it
Hmm.
gets too late. And it's all about
Hmm.
awareness because I have several friends that have prostate, and now they're starting to um, create these prostate men's African American men's group around the city. And so
Hmm.
once I get more information because they're putting something together for me, I'll make sure that it get
Hmm.
out early enough into the churches and put it out there on social media just to let people to start thinking about these type of things early. That you got to catch these things early enough before they get out of hand.
Excellent. Are there any other diseases that you're focused on as well?
No, that's it. I'm gonna stick with the ones that target men
Okay.
because
Okay.
I'm in contact with black men every day, each and every day, and black
Mhm.
young men, and that's what I've been talking to with
Mhm.
some of these college students. They're not thinking about it right now. I got 2 boys, and so hopefully
Okay.
I'm around long enough to see them, have grandchildren someday. But needs to
Mm.
say is that I got to talk to them about their health because when you're young, you don't think about it. You can eat candy, you do everything you want to do until you start that
Mhm.
30. Once you hit that 30, then things start
Mm.
slowing down, or 40. You never know.
Right. 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 Yeah. Especially the nutrition portion of it
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
What you're actually putting in your body. Yeah, that is important. And you're right. They're not thinking about it. They think they'll live forever, but you got to
right.
focus on those things. Yeah, absolutely. So, tell us a little bit more about just your work within the Mount Vernon community.
Well, like like I said before, I'm the president of the business association, and so the work that we're doing currently right now, because um, we're in the development stage with a lot of gentrification that's going on in the neighborhood, and so within the next probably year or so, you'll see probably about 1,000 more people. Uh, starting to move into the neighborhood because we got high rises, we got a lot of development, that's going on in the community. So, as my role as the business president is to make sure our businesses um, have sustainable income coming in through city resources. So, Columbus, has a great um, community development resources. I mean, a lot of resources for small businesses. And so, the SBA is one great way somebody's looking to get off the ground to starting a business because they offer so many different things. So, My job is to connect people with those people that do the actual work, because I don't get paid to do what I do. It's just that I'm the president, and I don't mind doing it, but they do the work that can definitely make, they can spend more time with you. And, like for instance, the SBA, they got a women's center. They do one-on-one coaching. They do workshops, and they have a resource library. And resource library help you find the funding that you need for your small businesses, whatever, and help you kind of, put your dream together on what you want to do and help you focus on it. And then, they have the veterans. They also work with veterans as well. And then recently, I got a great partnership with I want to say Central Ohio African American Chamber of Commerce, and they kind of do the same thing. And they helped out with business development. They help out with the resources as far as advocacy, and then they also do workshops and a lot of networking events with African American groups. I haven't had any information from them lately about anything that's going on as far as business wise. I know they were administrators of a lot of the resources that the city gave out, like $8 million to small businesses to help keep them open. And so that was a blessing that they identified those businesses that are homegrown in our communities to keep them alive. And so that's where I came in, making sure they help out, make sure they fill out the right paperwork. They got the taxes together. They have, they know how to write the right stuff, the right language, so you can get taken care of.
Yeah, that's a great resource. The Chamber of Commerce, African American Chamber of Commerce, they have great information for everyone. They really in the last year have really stepped up. So I'm glad you gave them a shout out. That's certainly good.
Yeah.
So from a small business perspective, what do you think some small businesses do wrong? I mean, what keeps them from being successful?
I think a lot of times when they hit a bump in the road, they have doubt. They have a lot of doubt. They don't think they have enough capital. And I think the most important thing that I tell people when they start their business, pay your taxes. If you're gonna be an LLC, sole proprietorship, whatever you're gonna be, make sure you stay on top of your taxes. Because in my beginning, I used to have to pay this lump sum of money because I wasn't paying my money, paying the taxes monthly, and it used to kill me because I had to work longer
Right.
hours, or I have to do extra work to make sure my taxes are paid, because that'll determine whether or not that you can get loans in order to continue to expand your business. And that's what I did. I started out with the barbershop first, and then all of a sudden, once I got the barbershop going strong, I opened a beauty shop. And then after the beauty shop, then I start, different phases and in the business that, it didn't take, it took like maybe 5 years to get it right. And then, you just got to keep on doing it. But one of the things I like to tell people that, you know, make sure that you pay your taxes. One thing, also find a mentor that you can talk to who's already in business. And they can give you some guidance on some of the things to do, and take advantage of all these free resources from the SBA, the Central Ohio African American Chamber of Commerce, ECDI. They have all these resources, and people don't know where to go to get them, but they're all available. And you can just Google small business entrepreneurship information now, and then you can find money, and they'll help you find money. But you just got to have your stuff in order.
Right. Right. And I think that's the biggest thing is just keeping your business things in order. Yeah, the taxes, your bank accounts, and all those things, because you need those, especially during a time like this. The pandemic came on folks real quick, and so if you didn't have some of those things in order, you couldn't take advantage of them. I have a question from
Exactly.
the chat, and that is, what is it that keeps you going and staying in the Mount Vernon area?
Um, this is what my heart is, my passion.
Yeah.
Again, I'm part of the fabric, and no matter what happens, I'm gonna be part of the fabric of this community. Again, I love my neighborhood, no matter what's going on in it. And it's just where I want to be right now. Will I ever leave? You never know. But I will always have a place here. This building will always be here for the community. Um, once it's passed on to my sons. But I love my neighborhood. I love my black people. So I'm just gonna say it like that. I love my people, no matter what they look
Yeah.
like. I just love
Right. Yeah. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling.
Yeah, I just love
Absolutely.
my people, no matter what. Sometimes they make me mad, but I still love them.
Excellent.
Somebody got to do
Excellent.
it.
Someone has to do it. And I would think that there are a number of people who are like you. You're not, by
Yeah,
yourself. There's a lot of people who
yeah,
feel that way about the area.
yep. And that's why we still here. We kind of like, um, it's kind of like having family members. Sometimes you get mad at them, but you still love them, and you still
Right.
got to take care of them, even when they messing
Mm-hmm.
up. But I just love my community with a passion. And I just love the people that I've watched grow, these young men that come through our doors and businesses pop up. And I just have a passion for it. And then, um, it's just like you said, there's other people that are in the community. We need to be a bright light when it's dim
Yeah.
in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they see
Mm-hmm.
things going on positive or something that goes wrong and all the community leaders come together to make sure that we support one another, that's a bright light in
Mm-hmm.
our community. So people need to see the bright light that's looking outside in our community.
Mm-hmm. And it has such a history, I mean,
Yeah,
even some of us who are not that old remember when it really thrived, and
yeah,
and the potential for it to thrive as it did back in the in the 50s, and so it's still here.
right, right. And I truly believe it's gonna come back, but it's gonna have a different face.
Oh
And
yeah.
so we recently we are making sure that we keep the heritage and
Hmm.
in our neighborhood alive by some of the things that we got planned for this summer. And so that's some of the things that we want to make sure, because we got to make sure we retain our heritage in our community. Like you
Sure.
said, it thrived
Hmm.
back in the day. And you figure, I remember reading an article years ago that there were over 68,000 households in this neighborhood before they built the freeway. Can you
Before
imagine
they built
that?
that.
Before they built the
Hmm.
freeway, 68,000 households. That's a lot of people. and that
That's
and
a lot of
people
people.
patronized their businesses. They walked everywhere. They did business everywhere in the community. You couldn't. It was like New York City, and so it's going to probably come back like that, but it's going to be a different flavor. So we
Yeah.
we still have to find ways to bring our people back to our community. I don't mind if people live outside, 270, but people want to come back home, and that's the main thing, to support businesses, because majority of our customers, they even come in the shop. They used to live in the neighborhood, but they, because they got kids, they want good schools and et cetera, et cetera. And I don't knock it.
Mhm.
Do what you got to do, but they always come back to stay in touch with your community. So if you're from another city, when you go home, you first thing you do, you go back to your beauty shop, you go back to the grocery store, you go back to things that you
Right.
are familiar with. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
important. Just coming back to making sure that you patronize and support the businesses, whatever, and just seeing people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're starting to see the foot traffic again. My
Yeah,
grandmother and her sister had a shop right next door to the Lincoln Theater. And as a
yep,
child, yeah, as a child, I used to see all the people bustling back and forth on the sidewalk and going to the different restaurants and things like that. And so, there's just, to see that happening again is really, really exciting and is inspirational. So it's great
yeah.
to
I'm
see.
looking forward for the next 5 or 10 years. It's gonna be jumping, and I'm excited to be a part of the spark, along with other leaders in our community, to help keep our traditions and our heritage going on in the neighborhood.
Nice, nice. Yeah. And keeping people healthy too. I mean, I like what you're
That's right.
doing, especially
Yeah.
with men's health. I know some
Mhm.
of us sisters get a lot of holler on when it comes to the health, but and our men are sometimes not focused as much. We're not focused as much as we should be. So I'm really happy to hear that you have a plan and a way in which you can do that.
Yes.
and helping men understand the need to take care of themselves. So,
Yep.
what other programs, so you'll be participating in the African American Walk, I'm sure.
Nope. I help register people. No, no, I help make sure. I help make sure they get the information out. I won't. I help. I was in the beginning stages of the African American Walk, but I help them make sure they get information out to the places they need to get to make sure they have people
Mhm.
register. And I'm a big supporter of them, but I won't. I've never walked, but I've always registered.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Oh,
I
wonderful.
play my
That's
role
good.
on the team.
To get people out there and walking, and
Yeah.
that's just a way of getting men involved. Another
Hmm.
way of getting men involved. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
what else? What else do you like to tell us tonight about your role as far as health and wellness in the community, or even small business health and wellness?
I think I want to talk about three things. If somebody's who is looking to be an entrepreneur, and I just want knowing your purpose when you start your business. When I think about that, I think of businesses are something bigger than you, like helping out in your
Mhm,
community. So when you open your business, some people just come, go to work, leave. But if you know your purpose of when you start your business, that's very important because you become a part of the community. Because I've seen
mhm,
businesses that has not last in this community because people would just come to work. They come to work and leave and don't communicate, don't talk to your neighbor, and so on. But I think you got to think about your business, the purpose of your business, that it's bigger than you, because God wants to bless you in your business, and you got to think about what type of business, or what how does He use your business to help do ministry to the people that you contact every day. And so
mhm,
back to what I'm thinking about, the men's health, it's ministry for me. And so it's been you know helpful to just belong to a great church like New Salem that has so many resources and things like that to help people. And then the next thing you got to do that I think about is being a master of your what your craft is, and that means to me never stop learning. One of the
mhm,
things that I got tons and tons of books on how to do stuff, how to budget your money, how to do this, how to do that, and never stop learning. And don't be comfortable just every day you're doing your business and everything's fine, because again, a pandemic can pop out, and
mhm.
you got to reinvent yourself, and that's and some people can't do that, but you never stop learning, so you got to master something, and because I do nonprofit, you got to learn how to run a board. I've done concerts, I've done health and wellness events, so it's nothing that I knew how to do, but I read a book and learn how to do it, and you got to continue to learn in your business. And then the next is autonomy. You have to find a way to motivate yourself every day. And I would tell people my motivation has been the word of God, reading in the morning, to get motivated, and then seeing how people are blessed when they come in your business, like the barbershop, for instance, when they getting health screenings and their blood pressure's down and those type of things, and they're getting healthy and they're getting educated. And you can see you just saved somebody's life and you don't even know it.
Mhm.
But those are the three things that I think about, your purpose, you got to be master of the things as far as never stop learning. And then the autonomy, you got to find a way to motivate yourself while you get out the bed every day, and those are the things that, I look forward to coming to work. I get up like I'm still in the military going to work. And so I think I do, I'll tell people I still got that fun. I'm going to do more before 9 o'clock than most people going to do all day. And I do.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah. Go to the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to do this. And it's like, it ain't even 9 o'clock yet. And so,
Wow.
yep.
Yeah.
But I'm
Hey,
just
and
always
like,
excited. Go ahead.
well, it just shows your passion for it. It shows you for what
Yeah.
you do. I tell my
Yeah.
children all the time, especially when they were coming through college and not sure what they wanted to do or how to. I said, if there's a passion, something that you enjoy, that's something that brings, like you said, purpose, you know,
Yes.
the money will come because you are, you know, you will find the discipline to get it done. And so
Right.
it's just an important part of what you do if you feel good about it, and giving back too, you know. The giving, the you know, giving back is, it makes you feel, and it inspires you as well, I would think.
Right. Right. Because I think about the guys at the rec center when I was growing up, the guys, your coaches, those guys
Hmm.
didn't have to do it, but they wanted to do it.
Right.
And now I tell people I'm in this phase of, I'm kind of like plateauing right now, but I'm saying that I'm planting seeds now. And so I'm talking to younger people about business because it's planting seed time right now. And so,
Mhm.
I got people calling or inboxing me different things about what they're doing. And I'm gonna give them some advice and places to go and help them out a little bit. But I'm in the seed planting
Mhm.
now. And if
Mhm.
we can plant enough good seeds in our community, we can definitely have a great harvest of young African American entrepreneurs that are starting out with all this tech stuff and all this the
Mhm.
creativity that you see and just the art and everything that they're doing now, even digital stuff. I've talked to some guys. I'm like, man, that's the bomb. I wish I knew how to do that. But I'm gonna pay you to do something for me. So,
Yeah,
but just being
exactly.
able to help them and give them some encouragement, and that's what we have to continue to do with our young people coming up in this next generation. Because the world, as we see it, it ain't gonna be the same in the next 20 years. You know what I mean? So we gotta get them
Mhm.
prepared for what's next.
Yeah. And that's our job. I mean, it really is. You know, our generation, you can't just be focused on yourself. You got to look back and look forward and say, okay, how can I help that young person, you know, get over
Mhm.
some of the obstacles that were in our way and we didn't know
Right.
what to do, you know, so that they can, you know, excel even faster than we did. And, you know, some people have a trouble, you know, taking that time to mentor. And but it's
Yeah.
so important. It really is. I mean, if we really care about our community, you know, we've learned a lot over the 20 plus years, 30 years. You know, why not share that knowledge and, you know, and help them get, you know, get started and get moving along. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Exactly. I mean, one of the best things that I have is I have great, great, intelligent, brilliant, amazing customers. And I'm gonna ask a question if I got if I don't know nothing. And these people, I mean, from the CEOs um, to the wino, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They always got something, words of encouragement to share on, hey, Al, I
Yep.
think you ought to, well, but I think, that's the great part of my, being a barber, I think, is that you get to talk to people. And I tell
Right.
people, if you don't take advantage of talking to and getting to know the people in your chair, you losing out on a wealth of knowledge.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
that has kept me going because sometimes they be like, I know you're tired, but somebody like Dr. Ruffin to come and say something to me. I'm like, golly, man, why you say that? I guess I got to do something. So, you know, I'm throwing him out there too. He got to quit talking to me on
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah.
He'll get you.
But no, it's been,
He'll
I
get
just I think that I love people and I love people. Anybody tell you I just love people. I love working with people and I love seeing people grow and be
you.
successful. And, I don't take a lot of credit, but I just want to just leave a good legacy,
Yeah.
um, for my children and everybody else that comes behind me. Um,
Mm.
that, at the end of the day, I'm gonna go to the grave empty, and that's what I want to do. So that's what I tell people now. I'm just trying to go to the grave empty, help as many people, share what I know, what's been passed on to me, and I think it's so important. People gotta just not give up on their dreams because I could have gave
Mhm.
up a long time ago and
Sure.
just walked away
Sure.
and stayed in the military or something. But I
Mhm.
decided that this is what God had for me, and and He didn't blew it up 10 times more than I wanted to. So I'm
Yeah.
just I'm,
Yeah.
I'm just excited on what's gonna happen, next.
Great. Yeah. What's next? And you know, we still have a lot more to go here. And the thing is that you know, as you're giving, as you're giving back and you want to see people grow and expand, you're learning at the same time too. And that's the nice thing about it. It's a two-way street. It's really kind of cool. I can imagine that your chair has a consultant in it every hour, so that comes in and
Yeah,
talks about expertise in their areas and what they do. Some people just like to be relaxed and talk about things that they know that they can pass on to other people. So that's
right,
excellent. Yeah.
right. And I can tell. And if whoever watching it, I can give them like 6 things that you need to know about. When you start your business, one of the things you got to ask yourself, why you doing it. You know,
Yeah.
would you do what you do for free? Because
Mm-hmm.
I cut hair so much, or I love doing what I do. I've given my free time to
Mm-hmm.
a back to school rally. I've given my free time to go to the prisons. I've given my free time and to go and to talk to somebody about being a barber. Those are the
Right.
things that you got to be passionate about. And then one of the things I always tell people, I say, make sure when you're thinking about doing your business, make sure you have a little, you have a savings account and start figuring it out. How much money you need, you're going to start your business. Because guess what? If don't
Mm-hmm.
nobody come through your doors, them bills still got to be paid.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? Yeah. And then
Yep.
also, ask your friends and family to help out, at least support you. That's one of the things that I tell my barbers when they first start. I said, you got cousins and nephews, cut their hair so
Yep.
people can see your work. And that's
There you go.
that's the one of the ways to start. And then
Mm-hmm.
once people see your work, and there are people watching, it's like, oh man, can you get me next? So you use your family to help support your business in the beginning. And then
Yep.
also take the opportunity to apply for some of the small businesses loans that the
Mm-hmm.
bank may offer. But one thing I just learned, I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday, and a lot of times the banks um, want to give you loans, but you can also apply for a business credit instead of a loan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You hear me? Don't
Okay.
get the
I
loan.
hear.
You always want to give
Yep.
us loans, get business
Mm-hmm.
credit. So you build your
Right.
credit up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah. There
appreciate
you
that.
go.
I'm gonna tell them on the call today. Get a business credit. Don't let them give you loans because you got to pay that because the bank is using your money to do everything else. But you get a business credit, you can do more with a business credit. All right.
Yes.
So I just had to get that off. And then look for like and then look for there are plenty of grants out there, small business grants. They may not be something real big. They may be like $2,500 or $1,000 just to get you off your ground with your business, to help you with some bills and stuff like that. And then last but not least, I tell people don't ever give up when it get
Mm-hmm.
tough. I mean, I'm an athlete. I played football. We lost games. I've been injured, but I never gave up. I never gave up, and that's something that you have to have in your spirit. Even when you go through hard times, whatever that
Yep.
is, never give up on what God has for you, and you know what it is when what He has for you. So never give up, and keep fighting for whatever you want. And so
Mm-hmm.
those are kind of like little small things that's helped me along my way. Again, and knowing my purpose of being here is for these people, because people always like, man, if you wasn't here, man, I don't think all that stuff would be going on in here in this neighborhood, because people would just do anything, because I don't let people just come in the neighborhood and do anything in the neighborhood.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're gonna have a conversation about don't disrespect the people and so forth.
Absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
so because again, I'm here I figure out my purpose here being in the community is to help be the little shining light with other leaders in our community.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, we're coming to the close of our hour, and I just wanted to give you an opportunity to just, some closing remarks. I think you've already given a couple already.
Yeah.
But anything you want
Yeah.
to say just before we end tonight?
I just want to again once again thank New Salem, my home church. I miss everybody. Looking forward to get back soon. The video's been good, and lounging on Sunday has been great too. But
Yeah.
I just think that again, continue to work hard, whatever you do. Again, autonomy. You have to find the motivation every day to get up. and think about why you're starting this business and make it a lifestyle. Your business has to be your lifestyle. And then secondly, mastery, making sure that you never stop learning different ways. Because I was telling somebody, I remember when they first came out with the credit cards in barbershops, and I was one of the first ones because customers wasn't, they used to paying cash. I said, nah, man, I take everything. I don't leave nothing on the table. Give me that card. And my barbers didn't want to do it because they like to have the cash. And so I said, check
Right.
this out. You can get more money with the card. So watch. I got to show you receipts. So now guess what? They all got swipes. They all got squares now. They see the extra income because people are now, and then now with Cash App and Venmo and Zillow, it's different currency now. And so never stop learning on how to get better in your work. Find innovative ways, creative ways to advertise, market, and be spontaneous with it. And then also know that your purpose in your business is bigger than you. If God allows you to have a business, just know that it's bigger than you. Yeah, you got a business, but guess what? It's bigger than you. You got to do some ministry in your business. You got to help somebody. You have to talk to some people who are one day going to come to you, ask you, how'd you get started learning how to bake cookies, and you got your own cookie shop now. So, I just think that's something that's very important, that we got to do those things in order to continue to build our communities up and continue to, educate our young people that's coming up. And just, again, we have to give back in some kind of way, whether it's time, money, or conversation.
And that time and conversation is priceless.
That's it.
I mean, it
That's
really
it.
is priceless. I mean,
Yeah.
people think, I donated here, and that's great. There's $100 there or $10,000 there, but that time and that conversation is literally priceless because it could give you just so much of abundance, of knowledge that you didn't have before. So.
Right. Because sometimes I don't let people out my chair till they give me something. till they, get, I'm trying to ask these questions, and if I don't hear the right answer, I'm gonna make your haircut longer. Nah, I'm just joking. But I'll tell you, I'm just so grateful to have a great group of people around me that support, and they tell me things when I do things, that are wrong too, because I'm not perfect in anything that I stumbled and fail in some businesses. Because I remember I started the first Black video store, me and a partner of mine in the neighborhood, and we did it for about 6 months because people quit bringing our movies back. So we was like, this ain't working out. So, but you know what? I didn't stop. I could continue to create stuff. Because when you got a vision, you got to continue to create, and that's kind of like where the nonprofit came in, because the nonprofit is all about helping families in the community. It just started out some as a back to school rally, and then it started out with Deacon Tracy Robinson. We started doing fatherhood programs upstairs in the barbershop. And then that expanded to Dad's Fraternity, so things like that. It keeps growing as long as you got God first in everything. And so that's something I can tell people, you put God first in your business, you're going to be successful. And even if you have some bumps, just know that that's just to build you up. So you can, he going to see if you really trust him. And so, that's the thing, because people think, oh, when I hit a hiccup, God don't like me. No, he just want to see what you're going to do. He wants to see some growth. And for me to be in business for 27 years, I've seen it all. And so I'm just very, very grateful just to share the little bit of knowledge I do have with the audience that may be watching on Facebook. They can always reach me here at the barbershop or call me on my business line, 614-253-1880. If they interested on learn a little bit more about some of the resources that the city has. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I'm always willing to help you. Tuesdays are my off day, so that's my community day. So if you come to talk to me during the week while I'm cutting somebody's hair, I'm gonna send you to Tuesday, because I make Tuesday my community day for everybody. And so you have my full undivided attention on Tuesdays.
Well, good to know. And you got to set those boundaries. You do. You really do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Al. This has been
Thank
extremely
you.
informative, really great information. I'm so excited about what you're doing in the Mount Vernon area and what you're doing for men's health and and wellness in general. Some really creative, as you say, ideas,
Yes.
and just kind of keep them coming. You just got to keep them
Hmm.
coming. Love to hear the passion in your voice. That's what we need. People who are passionate about what they do. And trust me, it just makes you feel better inside, to have that purpose and to move it forward. And God is always there to help you get it going. So thank
Right.
you so
Exactly.
much again. And
Thank you.
everyone who joined us tonight, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you coming in to listen in on the conversation. And as always, stay healthy and stay safe. Have a good night.
All right. God bless you. All right.